Hello and welcome to 4,000 Counting. I'm Watty, and today I am joined by Mr. Lee Mercer of the Haringey Huskies ahead of what is going to be a very, very busy weekend of hockey in the NIHL 1 and the NIHL 2. Obviously, Lee being down south, we're checking in with him, and he is going to be there attending this weekend's finals at your home barn, mate. Are you excited?
Yeah, always. I think holding it at your home arena is a testament to Ali Pali first and foremost. We held it last year, and it was a great success. I think that was what the IHA's thinking was this year, was to hold it there because obviously we get a crowd week in, week out. So I think they're piggybacking off the back of that to make a few
Well,
quid.
last year was sold out, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Correct. The whole weekend.
And I believe you were a large parts player in that last year. What was the differences you noticed like from previous years going into last year's? I know like you had like different sponsors and stuff, and I think the Leaf were involved, and I don't know how much you can say about other stuff, but I know like a lot of work went in behind the scenes. You evidently delivered a very good event.
Yeah, well, it's like every club. You have to work with the ice rink. The ice rink were on board. They wanted to host it. We knew we could fill it because our crowds told us that we could. Guildford bring a good support. Bristol brought a good support. And I think that's the difference. I think the year before it was played in Bristol, which is a great ice rink, great complex, but it was empty. And I'm a firm believer when it comes to the Final Four, these are showcase events. We should be doing everything within our power to fill them. Like, even if it's bringing in scouts and cubs and brownies and all sorts, I think whoever we should be filling them because they're the best four teams that are fighting for the trophy, and I think it's a good advert.
So, well, I went to NIHL 1 finals, I believe, was it the year that Vanny got kicked out. It was in Milton Keynes. Vanny got kicked out in the final. It meant he missed the playoff finals in Coventry against Solway. I think the first year, so maybe 2019, maybe 2020. Mate, it was fucking empty.
And last year was empty. And I think that's empty, what the EIH's, because I'll get shot probably for talking about it, but obviously I played a big part in getting it back at the Palace this year, and so I kind of know the ins and outs a little bit of the EIHA's thinking. And this is actually going to be a credit to them. Their sole purpose is to try and get clubs as much money as they can. So okay. They are working with profits, and
I'm on board with that.
But it's about how much the team will get, where they finish first, second, third, and fourth, etc. And that was their mindset. Whereas Bristol is probably, in fact, it's a fraction of the cost of what Ali Pali is to rent.
Yeah,
and their sole mantra is to give clubs as much money as they can for competing. So credit where credit's due, but also they want a fan base there as well. So they've got to sacrifice one or the other.
Okay, that makes sense to me. And I'm a big believer if your teams are getting to those latter stages of the tournaments, especially the playoffs, then you should be rewarded. Financial reward on an event like that should definitely be in place. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your club's fans that are coming. They're putting their fucking hands in their pockets. They're buying the pints. They're buying the tickets. They're coming to support. And I know back in the day, I think if you won Coventry as an EPL team, there was like maybe £1,000, £2,000 bonus or whatever. It probably went in fucking Crosby's and never even made it out of Coventry. But there was a little something. I know behind the scenes, the teams probably made a bit more out of it and stuff like that. But I'm talking down to the boys. Like the boys got a little drink out of it if you won. I think with the level of hockey we're talking, NIHL 1, NIHL 2, some financial assistance goes a long way.
It's huge. So what we do, I can only speak about Huskies, but that'll go towards paying for guys' registrations next year.
Yeah,
that's what we do. We just put it into a fund where, so no guy that comes to Haringey has to pay for registration at ice time. So,
and what is the registration now? Is it 100 plus?
Could be mistaken. 140 quid.
Okay, I had like 119 in my mind, so 140 would probably be more up to date.
Yeah, I think it's gone up.
So yeah, you're looking just shy of 3 bags
Yeah,
to get all the boys registered up.
yeah, and that's not
So
included if you have an import. It's well over 1,000. So
yeah, for your ITCs, and I
yeah,
don't know if that's what they call it now. Is it still
yeah,
an international
yeah,
transfer card?
international transfer card. Yeah,
Yeah. I I'm glad to see that's happening, but I still think I don't know what ticket sales are doing right now. I know from previously they were doing okay at certain points. I don't know where they are, this week leading into the final event. But I would imagine I mean, me and you spoke about this months and months and months ago. I was like
yeah,
pretty much between your fans and Streatham fans, wherever they do it.
it's got it.
If they do a combined, you guys could fill it. And then you start going, Invicta travel pretty well, and other teams travel well. But then obviously Invicta's not made it. That's going to make a difference. Neither of the Invicta teams have made it, so that's going to make a difference again.
Good.
Do you say good?
No, I
Bit.
said huge. No,
Oh, I
do
thought you
you know
said
what?
good. I was going to say what a
No,
bit of bant's going on. I love it.
no, our it's the complete opposite. Our fans and Invicta fans, they went out for dinner before the game on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
One of the drummers from Invicta, he just gets on so well with the Huskies fans. The Huskies fans bought him a ticket for the weekend
Oh, amazing.
as
Yeah,
long as
that's
he
cool.
brings his drum.
Good deal.
Yeah,
So,
fair deal.
bit of an atmosphere when there's drums and stuff on the go. I know some people complain about it, but fuck off, complain about something else.
Yeah,
Like we need a bit of atmosphere in there.
we will. We'll get that.
Who um who out of the weekend do you think will like travel the most? Obviously, the Huskies fans will be there in full force because you
It's
guys turn out one every week.
it's a hard one because of the way the tickets are set up. To be honest, they've sold a weekend ticket, which yeah, okay, I understand the reasons why you buy a weekend ticket. For people that are pure hockey heads, it's a great deal. Like you're watching
Six
6
games.
games of hockey, like it's phenomenal. But actually, you will have, I think, especially in NHL two, and probably some fans in NHL one, they would have just preferred probably to buy a ticket for the game that their team's playing in. So
How would
yeah,
you police it? I mean, they must do it because they police it for the World Championships. I know you can, when they do 3 games a day at the
yeah,
Worlds, I know you can just buy a ticket, or you could have a weekend or a day pass or an entire tournament pass, even. So I'm sure there would have been ways to do it. Well, I guess you would probably have to evacuate everybody in between
clear
each game,
clear
and
the
then
ice
just
rink.
come back in. I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
it'd be that difficult.
No,
Um,
because you'll have a large portion of fans that will have bought a weekend ticket, so they'll just show their pass and walk straight back in again. I think it takes probably about 20 minutes to clear Ali Pali. At the end of the day, it doesn't affect any of the players and stuff. They're in there, they're getting changed
yeah, they're in the
regardless.
back room.
Yeah, exactly. So I would have just cleared it and brought them back in, cleared it, brought it back in.
I guess part of the thinking is they fucking sell it out on weekend tickets, and then that's not an option anyway. I mean, I imagine what they're hoping. I
Yeah, of
don't know the
course.
ticket sales numbers, but I don't know how the logistics would work in terms of, let's say you sold 700 weekend tickets, which meant there was 300 tickets, but then it's walk up, so you could be driving, and then you could, you might not get in for the game after all. And I don't know how you would do it, but there must be a way. Someone smarter than me can fucking definitely figure that out.
Yeah, there is a way. I just want to know what will happen with. So I don't know. Let's say who are the two biggest fan bases that are there. Let's just say Streatham and Huskies for argument's sake. Say we both get knocked out in the semis, and hockey fans are fickle, and they might say, "Do you know what? I'm not going to the final."
On the Sunday, yeah,
Actually, then
the
Chelmsford
empty
fans can
building.
think, "Wow, I want to go." Slough fans, "Oh, I want to go." How do they get access to those tickets that are not being used? I think that's where they've missed the trick.
Like a buyback, even not buyback. I guarantee most of the fans that decide they're not going, they won't want money for their ticket. They're like, fuck this, I'm not going.
Yeah,
Here's a ticket here if you really want it. The money's already been paid. We'll send it to your email address or whatever, but it means a
yeah, I
Slough
think
fan can now go. Yeah, I get you.
yeah, and that's the bit that I think because it is as you advocate on 4,000 counting, and I'm a big fan. Hockey should be access for all, and I get that it's sold out, and it's great that it's sold out, but there's going to be a point where it's not sold out. So how do people that just want to go and see the team get there? But this is stuff that we learn, I suppose.
It's definitely a great talking point, mate, and it's a good point, well raised. And I think if we look at that as options, even in the very, very like infancy of it, like i.e. this weekend, sure if someone set up a Facebook group, it wouldn't take much. You fucking, like we can't go this Sunday. But Berlin, when I went to Berlin, I wanted to stand in the fan zone couldn't get a ticket in the fan zone for the first game, but I wanted to stand in the fan zone for the second game. I was like, fuck that. I'm not going all the way to Berlin, not standing in the fan zone. And I got speaking to someone on the first game, and he's like, hey buddy, we got this group, bang, on Facebook, put in there what I wanted. 10 minutes later, everyone's like messaging me, hey, we got a ticket, we'd love you if you come stand with us, or you can come and stand with us. Mate, it was perfect. And it was piece of piss. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you just hope the guy you're not meeting is a serial killer or anything, but chances are you're probably not going to be. Like, it's probably going to be okay. But yet, they couldn't go to the game. I had the same thing in Cologne, similar experience. It works very well, and it's just literally a Facebook group. No one official has to do it. There's plenty of people that could just run that group and it run itself.
Yeah, of course they could.
It's like if you just think, if myself, Zero Pups giving banners on the wall, all those kind of guys put it out there and told people, it wouldn't be long and everyone finding out that there's a group where you could go on and get tickets on the finals day, because it's quite sad watching a final in an empty arena.
Yeah, that's what the fear would be. That's what my fear would be. But then,
I mean, chances are though,
Huskies fans that will want tickets as well, that think, oh, do you know what, they made it. How can I access that?
Just got to take the gamble, folks. You got to get that Saturday. You got to get a weekend ticket, haven't you? You got to take the gamble. You got to faith in your boys that you're going to go the whole way.
Well, 100%.
And if not, just go to the bar and get buckled. You have a good time anyway. Like,
yeah, I don't know when the last time was. I don't know when the last time was you were up at Ali Pally, but obviously it's got glass and that now. But it's got. Are
you ready for it, Mercy? You ready for it?
Two massive doors.
Under 14s. Actually, tell a lie. When Haringey were in the EPL, and I was in Slough, so whatever that would have been, 2005.
Oh wow!
I've got a lot fucking grayer since then, mate. Yeah. Like, a lot fatter, a lot grayer.
You're missing a treat.
Mate, I've been promising for ages that I'm coming, and I do hopefully plan to get down this weekend. Just a Saturday. Got family business on Sunday, but
yeah,
I like the idea of the event. I think there's definitely going to be some teething issues, but it's the same with anything. Yeah. I fucking hate the face-off times. I don't know how you do anything about it, really. It was floated around 11 a.m. start. Yeah, that should have been definitely your lowest, your earliest window.
11 a.m. start.
Well, look at the two teams that have made that first game. Let's put it up here because we were talking about it before we came on.
Guildford Basingstoke's the first game.
So I did the old sat nav from my front door to Ali Pally front door. That is 1 hour and 47 minutes, providing you don't get stuck in traffic, right? Okay.
You're going to get stuck in traffic.
You're going to get stuck in traffic, right? So every hockey player, for the most part, at most levels, wants to be at the rink 2 hours to 1 hour and 45 minutes before.
Definitely. Okay, me and Polly spoke about this quite a lot.
You're looking at what, 8:30 max?
Yeah. Nothing like pasta in the morning, is it?
That's fucking eating macaroni at 5:30 in the morning. Hopefully the boys, I know it's essentially an IHL too, but it's Guildford, it's Basingstoke. There's a lot of ex-EPL players in that Basingstoke side as well. These boys know how to feed themselves by this fucking point. They know how to eat the night before, and you have your big, heavy, carby meal the night before. You wake up, it doesn't need to be that carby. You get some fast-acting carbs up in you. You make sure you just got enough calories in the tank, and yeah, it's a ball ache.
I think to combat the 10:30, I did float the idea of actually why do we not have a Friday evening game?
There you go. That's a great idea.
But look at actually where the teams are located. Okay, the worst team, if they had made it, would have been Cardiff. That would have been horrific for them. Yeah, they would be in that early game. No, they wouldn't. They would be the 5 o'clock game. Sorry. So we would have played Cardiff.
But they would have still then either had to pay for a hotel, basing the
Correct.
fact on if they beat you boys, they don't want to go back to Cardiff and
No,
then
they don't.
back up the next day for a one. So you're talking an NIHL two team having to pony up. And when we say an NIHL two team have to pony up, the boys, essentially, what
Yeah,
it
of
is
course. Yeah, it's
at that
paid to play
level,
hockey.
it's fucking pay to play hockey. So the boys now have to pony up for a hotel in and around Ali Pali on a Saturday night. And by the way, I did the research, ain't fucking cheap.
No, it's not.
It is not
No,
cheap.
it's not.
That is London prices, baby. It's yeah.
But I think
It's hard.
A Friday night, even just one of the semi-finals on a Friday night, I think even the NHL 2-1 game could have been, I think, logistically easily done. So you've got Basingstoke, Guildford, both in and around London. As you said, an hour and a half to travel. They could easily head up just after lunch. And
Especially if it didn't last. I know we know shoulda, woulda, coulda. But with that theory in mind, do it last weekend where you got Bank Holiday Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Bank Holiday Monday. That Friday night game is actually that is like a proper wet appetizer for the entire weekend. Kind of
yeah,
circa if you think about England versus Scotland conference, there was always the Friday night when the teams had the coaches and managers meeting. You go up in the room and Hull,
yeah,
and out on the ice would be the England 17s taking on Scotland 17s, 19s, whatever it was, depending on the year. And all the kids would be in there mingling and getting ready. And it started the buzz for the weekend. No reason why you
100%.
couldn't
And
do
you
the
just
same.
mentioned the key word there, kids. So if you start the playoff finals weekend on a Friday, you could have a Scotland England game under
100%.
14s. You could have a conference final, the best of 14s in England against the best of 14s in Scotland, whatever it may be. Like you could showcase kids through an adults tournament, so to speak, playoff weekend, and that gives them the appetite to, oh, I want to make playoffs. I want to play for my senior team and get to the finals and things like that. So, yeah, you could really showcase the event.
I like the ideas that we're getting thrown around. Ladies and gents, put in the comments below if you're on board with this, if you've got any of your own ideas, how you think it would work. Especially at that NIHL 2 level, even more so to the NIHL 1 as well. You're not playing the National League amount of games. So there's no reason why your games can't be finished a week earlier, the quarterfinals be a week earlier, and you actually aim for that weekend as the playoffs. None of these boys are going to be playing fucking GB or international hockey in the coming weeks. So whether their season finishes this weekend or the weekend we've just had with the bank holidays, it's not going to matter to them too much. And if anything, if they have their playoff and then get a bank holiday Monday off, they can go hard on the Sunday. So I'm sure the boys will be really happy. Like it's a win-win-win.
Yeah, definitely. But we used to grow up. We used to grow up with that. It's like obviously my best mate's coming down at the weekend for this because that's what we do. We just start drinking weekend and watch hockey. But we remember the Wembley days.
Yeah.
Like you used to get I've played in it 3 times. The under 16 British final against Swindon with the likes of Lee Braithwaite's and Gary Cotswell and stuff like that. And fans started to trickle in for the final on the Sunday, even though we played on a Sunday morning. It was half full, and that just gave you the buzz to try and make the Five Flyers or the Swindon Wildcats, or that gave you the drive because you think, oh wow, look at all these people.
Yeah, mate, I totally agree. I love the ideas, and if it is something that is going to be a running joint venture between NIHL 1 and NIHL 2, then I would like to see the clubs get more input, and you guys have a bit more from now. Like so, for example, this was announced quite late. I mean, I imagine it's going on behind the scenes for a lot longer than that. But if this is the format that they plan to use, well, there could be you've got a year before the next one. All of these things that we're talking about, dates, times, junior involvement, that can go on the table. And I'm sure every club in NIHL 1 and NIHL 2 would vote in favour of England, Scotland, or Swindon Fife or whoever it is.
Yeah,
There's not a single club I don't imagine voting no on that.
like I agree. There was a lot of work put in on the background, and I think a lot of the NHL 1 team, I don't think they wanted a finals weekend. I
They
think
want to
they
go back
wanted
to the
more of
playoff.
they wanted more of an NHL sort of home and away, which I get. It gives them a gate. etc. But I think there's something romantic about a finals weekend.
Of course there
I,
is.
I can't lie. I just even if your team gets dicked in the semis, that's it. Win or lose, you're on the booze, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's just, and you just catch up with people. You mingle with fans. Fans get to know you better. I just think there's something quite romantic about a finals weekend.
Well, I'm hopefully, like I said, I'm hopefully going to get up this Saturday for the NIHL 1, NIHL 2. Then next weekend, I am in Edinburgh for the SNL. So that should be fun. Always good to go home. Wrong coast, but still going home. And then the following weekend, obviously, we're at the Elite League. So player finals weekends, yes, I like them. And if we're being really romantic, give me a fucking 7-game series, baby. Let's go. Like, give me 7 games of guys getting to hate each other, bodies getting sore, guys carrying injuries. Like you really find out pardon me, who the real deal is in a proper long format series, don't you?
Yeah, and I think a series in NHL 2 would be good because I think the teams are all very close, top 7. So probably from Invicta up to Guildford is probably really close, and they would be nip and tuck. I think NHL 1, I think Streatham
Too good over 7 games for anybody.
yeah, for anybody. Whereas the rest would be very close.
Looking at that, now that you mentioned looking from 7 up to 1, 7th place team won 10 games in 22, so almost 500 hockey. And then obviously the teams above, better and better and better, all the way to the top of the league with the Phoenix. But it does seem like a much better league this year, the NIHL 2.
Yeah, far, far better. You've obviously had Polly going at Peterborough. Peterborough have got a little bit of direction. They've got Bainborough and goal, who saves their ass a few times. Guildford, what can I say? They're just such a well-run, well-organised club, top to bottom. Top to bottom. Like, we said it. Banners on the wall was at a game in Guildford, and we had an opportunity there. We carried a
To
few
turn them over.
injuries. We had a few people pull out on the day of the game due to injuries at work, like nothing. And I think just with those couple of extra guys, I think we would have got it over the line. But that's hockey, isn't it?
It definitely is, and definitely at that level. Like, yep,
Yeah.
sorry, boss, can't be there today because of real life shit. And what do you do? Like,
Yeah. Especially when you're talking like it was Matty France. He'll not mind. He got an injury at work just near his eye.
Oh no.
On site. So, but Matty's so experienced that he just would have had that brain power to clear a puck, not let a guy walk out a corner. Like just it would have just took us over the edge. I think we would have, and then it would have set up a 1-game winner takes all at the Palace, which I think full house. I think would have took them.
You're always going to fancy it. That is something that happened. Let's talk about that because obviously you guys, it's your league. So in the NIHL 2 Cup semi-finals, we had a one-leg affair in Basingstoke because Peterborough's in Peterborough because Basingstoke's ice went down. Game never got rescheduled, even though they were then playing there the next week in the league. An agreement couldn't be made to get it done to be like the second leg of the final. And then I believe in the other semi, it was over 1 leg as well, right?
Yeah, and we've had 2 playoff games this year over 1 leg.
Yeah. How do we stop that happening? It's not a shock that we know these games are coming if we know the competitions are there. If we already know that there's going to be an NIHL 2 cup final, semi-final and cup final followed by a playoff final, quarter final, sorry, we can't be having 1 leg of ties.
So obviously I know this from first hand. So let's talk about Guildford Phoenix. Guildford Phoenix have the Guildford Flames above them. Peterborough have the Phantoms above them. So I think there's only us in Lee Valley that don't have. We are the senior team.
Yeah.
So ice time for me is fine. So we book it all in right at the start of the year. We
Sorted.
book final slots for home and away games. We don't use them, but it's fine. But we book them in. I think it's a lot more difficult for the Phoenix, and I know Peterborough had an issue with a double booked event at Planet Ice with a boxing match or something. Totally out with their control. So
sounds about right though.
yeah, I think if you can't book the ice, don't play in the competition, which is it seems really sad for me to say because that would mean Guildford didn't enter the cup competition. But I think we should open up a cup competition for the bottom half of NHL 1
and the top
and the sort of top half of NHL 2 because Lee Valley don't always get ice either. But I think actually if you say Invicta, Huskies, Invicta, Cardiff, Peterborough want to play in a cup and have got the guaranteed ice and you've got Milton Keynes, I don't know the rest of it, Solent, Oxford, actually UFO want to play in a cup. But the top half of NHL 1, they maybe play in a little series for a different cup.
Yeah,
Best
that makes
of
sense.
3. What, do you know what I mean? There's ways and means we can be creative to use where it's fair for everybody. Because, yeah, it was the same with the final. The final got played at Ali Pali for the cup in NHL 2.
Yeah, saw that.
Purely because, yeah, thanks, I sorted that one out for them as well.
Yeah, I thought you might have when I saw it was there.
Because we had booked that ice.
Yeah, smart.
So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done in the summer. I think the league meeting will be interesting. And I think I urge all sort of owners and managers and whoever to fully attend it. And actually, let's put our heads together. And rather than the IHA dictate to us, let's put a proposal to them. Let's find an alternative that works. And then we can't move.
Not going to hear any disagreements out of me on that. The other major talking points this year have obviously been Department of Player Safety. Have any of your boys fallen foul to the DOPS?
Yeah, two. Right just before playoff time. So I apologise to Guildford. I've got a good relationship with them, but I'm gonna slate them here. So there was an incident in Guildford where one of our players was clear cross check in the head area. Can't lie, the video evidence is there. But where I come from is why submit a review after the game? You've already won the game, so that it's not like it cost you a goal or the player wasn't injured. The player was given a 2-minute penalty. It was assessed by the referee, but you've deliberately gone to Dopes to say you need to look at this review again, which then handed him a 12-game ban. Yeah,
2 minutes to 12. 2 minutes to 12 games.
Yeah, so I think there's again, I don't know who runs Dopes. I don't know if it's volunteers or that, and I don't want to be too hard on them. And
I do. They better not be getting fucking paid. They better be volunteers.
Where I stand from is I want to know what their investigation skills are. I work in an environment where we investigate things, and I've got a qualification for investigating situations and incidents. I had a good chat with Daryl Morvan about it, and he was of agreement that it needs to be looked at and changed. Now, the National League, if a player did that in the National League, they'd get the same suspension, 12 games.
Yeah.
So I think what they need to do is they need to look at games per season, league games. And I don't know, let's say National League is 10 games more than what's the next league?
National League, you're 54. NIHL 1, I think you're 28, and then you boys 22. That sounds about right.
So if a cross check to the head, for argument's sake, is 12 games, right, in the National League, then it should be 6 in the NHL 1. And then it should be. So they should take a percentage off every division.
Yeah.
Because 12 games is pretty much almost half a season in NHL 2.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm not saying the incident's less severe than the National League, but what's 12 games? What, 4 weeks maybe?
Yeah.
In the National League? So there needs to be, those sort of things need to be talked about and thrashed out.
The other thing is they need to stop handing out 12-game bans because I haven't seen one thing that's fucking worthy of anything above a 6-gamer this year max. Not a single incident. Not a single one, Merce. Not one that is above a fucking 6. See, we've got Lee Bonner getting an 8-game for hitting a guy square in the chest. He's 5 foot and a fag butt tall, man. He hit him clean, but he's He's a wrecking ball, mate. But it was a clean hit. 8 games, hit to the head. Like these sort of ones. The one we covered that ended up getting rid of the 2 guys at the start of the year with Shane Moore, Darcy Flanagan and Oxford. Again, not a hit to the head. 10 games, served 6 before they realised, nah, we can't be having it. And I'm again gonna keep banging the drum. This shit can't be faceless.
No, I think you're right. I think it needs to have a face. It needs to have someone come out and speak to the hockey public. To be fair, but I also think the communications with the clubs is a little bit. So each club can put in, I think it's 3 reviews. So I can review 3 incidents that have happened after the match, almost grassing on the other team.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit my guy and he didn't get the penalty. We shouldn't be allowed to do that. We should not be allowed to do that. If the referee calls it 2 minutes, it's 2 minutes. Wipe your chin and continue with the game. If it's a check from behind, just suck it up, buttercup. Where I
Yeah,
think
it
we've gone
happens.
totally wrong is every club is mandated to have video evidence and video every game.
Yeah, that's right.
Why are the referees not mandated to carry body worn cameras?
I like that idea, by the way.
So, as I do every morning, I listen to Talk Sport quite a lot. And with amateur football and stuff, there was quite a large number of referees getting assaulted on a Sunday morning from probably half drunk guys playing football and stuff.
Yeah.
So what they did was they brought in body worn cameras. I think you get a lot less chirping from referees. It protects referees and it protects players. And
in this day and age, and I'm going to go down that route for content, it's fucking legit. Like when refs wear the helmet cams,
yeah,
and the access you get when like you're talking to the 2 captains or you're dropping a puck and that. If you want to grow your game, there you do it. But the
yeah,
best ref has the best seat in the house, mate.
correct. I think the IHA could probably do a lot with the footage. They can
Yeah, they
make
should.
fancy videos instead of stick men.
I wasn't expecting that. That's funny.
So yeah, they could. You're right. The context could be great, and why not post good videos, positive messages? Actually, I spoke to Watty and Mercer. Big fight had broke out. The dialogue was great. It was perfect. This is a good example of dialogue.
Yeah.
And actually, the other flip of the coin is actually we've assessed Watty and Lee. We've given them 6-game ban because we both stood there, called each other certain words,
Whatever.
called them certain words, and that we've got banned. It will stop it.
Yeah, it's right there.
So, yeah, I just think there's lots of things that the IHA and refereeing, because they're a different body, the referees could do. I think we need to start rolling these things out.
We also need to start supporting the referees. Like these guys get a training camp in Nottingham, like fucking in May or whatever it is for 3 days. They should be trained. Like the players train. They go get physio. They go to the gym. They do all these things to be part of it. A lot of these referees are having to work. They've got families. They got all the other things, but they would still go to training camps if you put them on for them.
Yeah, I also think there should be a level of fitness for some. I think some lines, and I get they volunteer and they're giving up their own time. I know they get paid for it, but there was some things on Sunday that were actually dangerous.
Oh, okay.
And I've not really seen that before. Like, don't get me wrong, to go into somewhere like in Victor and it's physical and it's rowdy and it's a partisan crowd, I used to tick on that as a player. I used to love it. The more shit you gave me, probably the better played.
Yeah, I agree.
But there was some things that were just borderline dangerous. So it would cut that sort of stuff out, because the last thing we want is another player seriously injured or worse.
No,
Especially
definitely
after
not.
this year that we've had. I think we really should be learning.
There's a lot to learn from this year. I mean, It's been a brutal year. In the people that we've lost from the UK hockey community, but it's been horrendous. And yeah, there's a lot of lessons to be learned on and off the ice. Going back onto the ice today, this weekend, obviously you boys are there, but you had to work the hard way to get there. Talk us
we
through
did.
it.
It's not easy putting yourself in a hole at home. I didn't expect it, to be honest. I didn't see it, although I knew Invicta were capable of it. if you think about it, Invicta finished 7th this year, they'd probably be a little bit disappointed with that. They're a hard-working team that work for each other. They're like the Wimbledon back in the day, the crazy gang, but they work hard for each other. But probably where we were maybe took our eye off the ball a wee bit, they actually hold the trophy.
They do, yeah.
I kind of blocked the fact out they dicked me last year at home. But they hold, so they had something more to play for than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because you never want to give that up. So yeah, putting ourselves in a hole. I believe there was some home truths and some things ironed out on the Saturday night, as you do, and the locker room door gets closed. I went to Invicta on Sunday, and there was something I seen in the team that I hadn't seen all year. Actually, there was just this unity in this fight, as if to say, "Do you know what? Fuck this, we're getting this done."
Yeah,
and they did it. They stuck to the game plan. They got a goal in every period in the first 5 minutes. As long as you constantly put that team on the back foot, then doubt sets in their heads, confidence sets in your head. Confidence should win.
and it went to a shootout. So,
and the boys, and we knew if it got to a shootout, well, there was no doubt we were going to win. I think Luke Clark is a good goalie. So yeah, proud of them all. We just we got another mountain to climb this weekend.
So you, after all the early face-offs, late face-offs, and everything, you kind of got the best face-off. You got the 5 p.m. face-off, which is, I believe now. Well, it was 5. I believe it's now
It's going to be 4:30 now.
4:30 face-off. And the boys happy with a 4:30 face-off?
Yeah, they certainly didn't want a 10:30. That's for sure.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a good face-off time. You still got enough good lie-in, get up, good walk, good food, ready to go.
I think, tough game though. Peterborough, Polly. I've got so much respect for Polly as a person and a player. Our games against them this year, not been much in it really. I just think they've been a bit more clinical. But
they have.
I think they've been a bit more clinical in the 2 games that we've played each other. Peterborough again is one of those ice rinks that's tough to go and play. They got the bounces, we didn't.
I mean, looking at their roster, they've got Nathan Pollard, as expected, 57 points in 22 games. James White, 35 points. And, there's a couple of other boys, young boys there that are getting the job done. Be interested to see if Louis Kinnison's there or if he's up with the Phantoms. I know they've got a few young guys in that roster. And again, good goalie, as you say, Ryan Bainborough.
Yeah.
What would be your... I didn't realise Sean Yardley was still fucking playing. Go on, Yards.
He's retired 3 times.
I know. That's what I thought. I was going to say, I thought he retired like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he just keeps popping up. And then for you boys, Connor Smith leading the way, 22 goals in 22 games. Can't argue with that. Nope. Veteran there, Mr. Stuart Appleby. He's still kicking around. And Stephen Woodford, more veterans. Tom Avery in there. You've got some good senior guys there. Any good youngsters that I should be looking out for?
Yeah, I think young Bennett picked up 2 goals away, and then Victor came up through the Hounds academy. Fantastic player.
Yeah, really good.
Fantastic player. Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
How old is he?
Yeah, he's just turned 17. No, 8. Yeah, 17.
Oh, something we can't not talk about because I've completely forgot about it. But before we go, so next year NHL 1 for you guys. Is that happening?
It's not happening. No, we can make it official now. Our apologies, fans. I was going to put out a statement after the playoff finals weekend, but we'll see.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, mate. I thought you were going for it. I had no idea.
Nah. So we've looked at the team and the names that you've mentioned and stuff like that. We're a team that I work in sort of 3 to 5 year plans. So we looked at it, and I spoke to so many people about it. I think the higher leagues in ice hockey in the UK are just in turmoil at the minute. I believe I've heard a rumour that Coventry Blaze are coming out of the Elite League, and just everything just seems to be a bit all up in the air. So is it better the devil you know? Yeah, it is. So our sort of mantra has been that I've gone for experienced players. Experienced players get you over the line. But obviously, there comes a point where they retire. Sam Roberts, for argument's sake,
Yeah,
great player, been a great asset to the club. Matty France, I'm not sure if this is his last year, but he's on the way out of hockey rather than the way in.
yeah,
So we've got the Hounds. We've got an agreement with the Hounds. They've got 2 current GB players now at 16 level.
good.
They've got 1 at England level. So they're coming through. Whereas previous years at Ali Pally, the junior kids were foreign, so they were Canadian American. Dad or mum was a banker. They
I
would
lived in
work
town.
5 years in London, then go home. So there was never a steady flow to feed a senior team, and that's been the problem for years. But we've got that flow coming through now. But they need a year of adult hockey. I am a fan of if you're good enough, you're old enough. I am,
100%.
but they need a year at senior pro. So we're looking to stay in NHL2 for at least another year. And then go up to NHL1 with a settled young team. But kind of like what Slough have done, so to speak, with Smittle, because the game's all about pace now.
Yeah.
The days of like two-handing people and chopping them down and stuff and getting away with it is gone. In fact, you've got a 12-game ban for it now.
It makes you think though, Mercer, if you are going to two-hand someone, if you know you're getting 12, you're like, I'm gonna fold you in half with this slash here. Like you're gonna wear this one, you're gonna feel it for a month.
So what I can say is there is going to be another team coming out of Valley Pally.
Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, so that is coming.
Can you tell us more?
Yeah, I'll give you a clue. Who runs the world is the only
Women.
clue you're going to get. There you go. Was it hard?
Fucking easy question.
So yeah, there is
a ladies'
a lot
team
of
then.
work getting done for a women's team yet, which will be launched just very shortly. I'm not going to tell you the name, but yeah, it's coming very, very soon.
That's awesome. And hey, more women playing the game is better for us. Obviously, right now, as we speak, Great Britain women are out at the World Championships.
Yeah.
They started off with a 1-0 victory over Poland, then lost 3-2 in a shootout. Actually, in overtime, not in a shootout to Poland, and then they got a bit of a spanking yesterday against Slovakia, lost 7-1, but they're back in action, I think, again today. So good luck, girls. Keep it
Yeah,
going.
it was a good result again. It was Italy they beat 1-0, wasn't it?
Yep, shut up. Good
Yeah,
job.
good result. Yeah, good result.
And in
Yeah.
regulation, so you get the 3 points in that tournament, and then obviously 1 for the OT loss. So 4 points after 2 games in that division when you've been promoted. Take that.
Very good. Very, very good. So yeah, so there is a lot happening, and we've got the full support of Ali Pally. They are so wanting to drive us forward. They obviously they want more games because that's more sellouts, that's more gate money, more beer sold, more food sold, etc., etc. So yeah, it's good for them.
But so, ladies and gents, massive breaking news on 4,000 and counting. I'm genuinely surprised. I thought you were going up. I'm genuinely surprised. So, Haringey Huskies will continue in the NHL2 in a 24-25 season. Who knows? Maybe we'll see them in a 25-26 season back. Sorry, I just realized Spotify's just started playing music. I can hear it kicking off somewhere. I just hit bullet for my Valentine somewhere. I was like, that's not going to be good. Yeah, so I would love to see Haringey obviously go back up into a higher level of hockey. I think with Stretton being there, you've got that built-in rivalry again. That Buccaneers, they beat Slough last week. Slough got a good young team. I think Haringey would come in and fit in very nicely. I mean, Oxford, Milton Keynes, I would expect you guys to be competing ahead of them, and eventually at some stage pushing on. And like, because as you say, Ali Paddy's got glass now. It's a cool place to play. You're going to play in front of fans. I think once you do go up into that league, you're going to be able to attract guys that are going to want to come
Yeah,
and
we're
play there.
currently looking at a giant clock above the ice as well.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the big decision not to enter NHL1 was based around junior ice time. if we went up to NHL 1, obviously there'd be more games, there'd be an extra training session. It had an impact on the juniors' ice time. I wasn't being that guy. I'm not
No,
that guy. I'm not going to take ice off juniors just to satisfy a senior team. So it's not dead in the water. It's not at all. It just needs
needs
a
more
little
work.
bit more working out and see where we go. So that's why we took the decision to step up our work on the female team and get them up and running.
That's great.
So yeah.
What is the relationship? Obviously, you touched on a couple of times that the relationship's pretty good, but what is it like dealing with the Palace? Are they like super supportive of hockey and like this new women's team idea? Are they loving it, or what's their
Honestly,
feedback?
it's a breeze. It's an absolute breeze. So David was the old ice rink manager. He was a figure skater background. It took 2 or 3 years to get him to get a hockey head on, but he got there and he supported everything that we did. And now Kirsty's come in from Cambridge.
Right.
She is hockey. She has a hockey brain. She has a hockey head. So she knows where we're at, what we're thinking. And she's going to actually probably take over the overseeing of the female team moving forward.
Good idea.
But yeah, just there's loads of things that will be different next year. Like we've had, like I mean, I'll just tell you. So we had a spray painter artist up this week looking
Okay,
at
cool.
murals for walls and
Yeah,
like
nice.
around Huskies, around AP, around all just different stuff. Just making it cool for the kids, I suppose, but just making it a fun place to be.
Yeah, it's good initiatives, mate. I like it. It's smart
Yeah,
ideas
of
floating
course.
around.
And I probably will give you another exclusive then. Yesterday we signed a deal with CCM.
Oh, brilliant.
So yeah, CCM will be our main providers for everything next year, both the men's and the female team.
That's great.
Yeah,
Big
very good.
news.
Ken Forshay and that were brilliant. They loved the project, they loved the vision, and it's a partnership. So we're going to work together. They're going to help me navigate the whole equipment and owning a shop and
That's
all that
great.
sort of jazz. So yeah, a lot going on.
Sounds epic, mate. I really
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to coming to the Palace, I haven't
good.
been in so long. What I want to know, and I'm sure what many people want to know that'll be watching this video, where you eating, where you getting your pints, where you going in and around the Palace to keep yourself entertained, because ultimately there is 6 games of hockey, but you're gonna want to eat, you're gonna want to drink.
So as I said in the fans chat, order some food in on Uber and just eat it in the foyer.
I mean
If you
that
don't want to
works.
pay a pallet price, like they've got the Phoenix round the back, you've got a bar inside the ice rink, you've got a bar outside the ice rink in the foyer.
Perfect.
You've also got the new bar. Well, it's not new, but the old bar's opened up as you walk in through the door up the stairs. That's all reopened. It's
Okay, that's
fully
cool.
stocked. I can assure you. I've seen it. So yeah, I will be floating in all around those areas.
Good those
As I said,
areas. That's where you'll be.
yeah, that's exactly where I'll be. It's a weekend of watching hockey and drinking beer. What will be will be. But
Right, so
I fancy a Huskies Basingstoke final.
okay,
Huskies to
well
win
you
3-2.
you literally just took my very final question out my mouth. Can we get some predictions from you for the weekend? Obviously,
Yeah, I think
first game up, we've got Buffalo versus Guildford. You fancy the upset?
I do. I do. I think you touched on it about Basingstoke's team. I think they will. I think they will maybe fare better with a 10:30 start. I think
Potentially,
they'll
yeah.
be ready. I think that might be a key decider. I think they might edge it.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump on. I can't go against the Buffalo. That's my boys there. So I'm going for the upset as well. I'm going for the fourth seed Basingstoke Buffalo to beat
Yeah.
the first seed Guildford Phoenix. Right, next up we've got Streatham Solent. Who do you fancy in that one? I'm gonna go with my brother, obviously.
Yeah, I think after Stretham's domination in the league, although I feel like I think I fancy Drew to do something for some strange reason.
He's retiring, isn't he?
Yeah, just like I don't know. I think if Streatham just play the way Streatham play, I think it'll be quite straightforward for them. if they get into a dogfight and make it a dirty playoff game, nah, I can't see past Streatham.
Nah, I can't see. Yeah, me neither. Third up, obviously, you guys are taking on the Phantoms. You said it's been intense between you boys this year, but you fancy yourselves to get the deal done, and as do I.
Yeah, I do. I think home ice, big advantage. I think what I will say though is Peterborough played against Guildford at the Palace for the cup final, and they could any other night they probably would have won it. I just think we'll edge them. I think we'll edge them. I think it'll be quite a free scoring game actually. I think it might be a 6-5, 5-4 type game. I think it'll be close, it'll be edgy, but I think we'll take the win.
And wrapping up, we have the Chelmsford Chieftains, Mr. Lewis Clifford, taking on Lucas Smittle and the Slough Jets. For me, I think this is a tough one to pick. Tough to pick on this. Good goalies at both teams, good players on both sides, good experience from National League on that Chelmsford team, and the line of Seb Moore, Christian Moore, and Jack Goodchild are fucking scoring goals for fun this year. Those kids.
What I don't obviously I've not seen much of Slough or Chelmsford. What's Slough's depth like? Are they both? It's good.
Yeah, they're good. But both teams, I think,
it's a tough one.
Be a good game. And bravo if you manage to make it from 10:30 a.m. and you're still stood at Ali Pally at fucking 10:30 p.m. and you've watched all 4 games. I will shout you out on 4,000 out because that's going to be tough going. You know what it's like when you're on the beers at Coventry and there's only 2 games. By the time you get to that second game, you're like, do we have to go? Do we have to leave the pub? I don't know if I fancy that. Like 4, geez. And then I'm going to have to get the train back to Basingstoke. God, what time is that? I'm going to get back after midnight. Oh, it's going to be great.
No, there might be some Basingstoke people hanging about watching the games.
Very true, actually.
So shout out to any Basingstoke fans that want to take Watty down to Ali Pally.
Yeah, actually, yeah. If you're from Basingstoke and you're going to Ali Pally and I don't have to get the train, I will buy you some beers. That would be great. Actually, I can't buy you beers if you're driving. I'll buy you beers next time. But we'll do something. I just don't want to... I don't want to get the train after 10:30, but I can't see myself wanting to miss that Chieftains versus Jets game. I think it'll be good. Some good young players I enjoy. A lot of them played in the charity game and stuff like that as well. So, it's always nice to catch up with the fellas.
I think Chieftains will take it though.
Going for the Chieftains. So
yeah, obviously I've got Lewis Clifford's brother-in-law and stuff as assistant coach. So as much as I hate to go with the Chieftains because they fans give me shit, but yeah, I'll back them to make the final.
I am going to disagree with you on this one. We had to disagree on one. I am going to go a very young, spunky Slough Jets team taking on the Red Hawks for a remake of the Cup final, and I'm going to go Red Hawks. I mean, they've won every trophy for the last 3 years, apart from against Solway. So you probably still fancy them to be favourites. And
yeah, you would fancy them, but one of hockey, playoff hockey, I'm telling you, it's people you least expect step up. It's weird. It has this magic, romantic thing that I've seen third liners, fourth liners just absolutely barnstorm whole playoff series, and you think, where have you been all year? But they just
come up for the big games, right?
Step up at that time.
So I'm also going to go against you boys, I'm afraid, because I can't go against the Buffalo. So I'm going to go the role reversal of you. I'm going to go 3-2 Buffalo. So I'm going to go Buffalo and Streatham, and you are Huskies. And who do you fancy for the other one, Streatham or Chelmsford?
Yeah, you can't see past Streatham, can you? But I don't know. Cliff's won trophies, He might have a triple to up his start. Yeah, you can't see past Streatham. But do you know what? I'll back him in the semis. I'll back him in the final.
I love Lorday.
A North London and South London thing.
There we go. So a couple of different results. I like that. I like obviously Lorday got Chelmsford's net down pat, but my brother shared a post the other day saying is that good. Danny Milton stats from this year. It's like 95.99 shutouts or something.
Correct.
That's pretty good goaltending. Right, Mercer, this has been fun.
That has been fun.
Look
I
forward to
hope
catch
that's
up.
good
Have you got
Saturday.
anything else? Have you got anything else for me? Any more
No,
exclusives?
nothing.
I'm
Nothing. Anybody that's going, actually, anyone that's going to the playoffs this weekend and stuff like it, just have fun, enjoy it.
yeah, enjoy it.
We just need to step up as a hockey community and let's change things like dopes and the EIHA. Let's put good alternatives, because to be fair, they do. You might not see it day to day, but some people behind the scenes work really hard. And it's for players and fans. I can't take that away from them.
No, totally agree, mate. Totally agree. Right, ladies and gents, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, as Mercer says, if you're going to be at the playoff finals this weekend, have a good time, support your team, make a lot of noise, and yeah, make sure you're following 4,000 counting. Hopefully be grabbing a couple of guys over the day. Nothing official, just, maybe little bits and pieces, say hello and give you guys some content to watch. But we will see you again for another episode very, very soon. Peace.
Cheers.